My beloved child, you are not an angel clothed in human form in a way that places you above others, but you do carry within you a sacred spark, a capacity to love, protect, and awaken that you have often tried to diminish because you feared being misunderstood. For a very long time, you have sensed that you do not fully fit the patterns around you. You look deeply where others merely glance. Notice subtle changes in tone, expression, and atmosphere, and often recognize someone's sadness before they have found the courage to admit it. This does not make you a supernatural being or someone incapable of error. It means you have been given sensitivity that must be guarded through humility. I, Michael, have come to remind you that this gift is not a reason for pride, but a call to live more responsibly through your words, choices, and the way you treat those who are searching for a safe place. You have passed through battles that make even you wonder how you are still standing. There were nights when you believed your strength was gone. Mornings when you had to remind yourself to take one more step. And seasons when no one seemed able to understand the weight hidden behind your calm appearance. You asked why others seemed to live more lightly while you continually faced betrayal, loneliness, disappointment, and unexpected change. My child, I am not saying these things happened because you needed to prove that you were special. Suffering is not a medal, and you do not need more pain in order to become worthy of your calling. What is precious is that you did not allow dark days to take away your compassion completely. You could have become bitter, yet you still tried to understand. You could have closed your heart, yet somewhere within you remained a place that desired goodness for others. Your true strength is found there. Darkness is not jealous of you in the way human beings compete for position. But everything false is challenged when someone chooses to live truthfully. When you enter a room without displaying yourself, your calmness may cause someone living in chaos to recognize what is happening within them. When you refuse to participate in cruel speech, your silence may make those hiding their motives uncomfortable. When you establish a clear boundary, people who benefited from your submission may react strongly. Do not immediately call every discomfort around you proof that others fear your power. Always examine yourself first. Correct what needs correction, and listen to sincere counsel. Yet do not condemn yourself merely because your growth is no longer convenient for those who want you to remain small. Some people naturally feel safe near you because you know how to listen without immediately judging. They recognize within you a gentleness formed during the days when you longed for someone to listen to you. Yet, others may become cautious because your honesty makes it difficult for them to continue wearing the mask they have carried for too long. This does not give you the right to conclude that you are always correct and that everyone who disagrees is living in darkness. You must guard yourself from that trap. Genuine light does not praise itself. It simply illuminates, warms, and guides. If what you carry causes you to despise others, it is no longer light. If sensitivity causes you to suspect everyone, fear has distorted it. If you use the language of mission to control, condemn, or demand submission, you have left the path of purity. Your mission is not to transform the energy of every place through a mystical presence, but to change the atmosphere through practical choices. When people are angry, you can speak a calming word instead of adding fuel to the fire. When someone is overlooked, you can be the first to see them and offer respect. When injustice occurs, You can speak without using hatred as a weapon. When you enter a place filled with despair, you can bring hope by working faithfully, keeping your promises, and refusing to abandon others in hardship. This is how light changes an atmosphere, not through grand declarations, but through a life of depth, consistency, and integrity that cannot easily be purchased by praise. You have diminished yourself for too long because you feared your difference would leave you alone. You spoke more softly than necessary, hid your abilities, and apologized merely for occupying rightful space. There were opportunities you did not enter because you believed someone else was more suitable. There were ideas you kept hidden until they began to wither because you feared being mocked if you spoke them aloud. Today, I am not telling you to become loud or search for attention. I am calling you to stop betraying your gift. Develop your abilities instead of merely speaking about potential. Complete the work instead of waiting for a perfect sign. Speak when your silence allows wrongdoing to continue. At the same time, know how to remain silent when words serve only the ego and the desire to win an argument. You do not need numbers, comments, or approval from the crowd to prove that you were chosen. A genuine calling is not measured by how many people believe in you, but by how faithful you remain when no one is watching. Will you preserve integrity when an attractive shortcut appears? Will you treat kindly someone who cannot benefit you? Will you accept responsibility after making a mistake? Or hide behind the story that you are special in order to avoid correction? Will you use what has been entrusted to lift others, or merely desire their acknowledgement of your greatness? These questions matter more than any mysterious sign. I do not need you to prove that you are an angel. I want you to live as a human being who knows how to love. Protect what is right, and refuse to turn pain into a reason to hurt others. I know there are times when you feel that you carry too many of other people's emotions. You leave a conversation exhausted, as though you had personally experienced their pain. You are easily affected by tense environments and often need significant time to recover your peace. Understand that sensitivity does not mean you must offer unlimited access. You are allowed to leave a conversation that is draining you. You are allowed not to respond immediately. You are allowed to say that you do not have the capacity to carry another problem at this moment. Not every pain you perceive becomes your responsibility. Compassion without boundaries becomes self-abandonment. And I am not calling you to rescue others by destroying yourself. My child, your presence has value not because Lucifer is jealous, nor because you possess power that causes everyone to tremble. You have value because you were created with dignity, freedom of choice, and an assignment no one else can live on your behalf. What causes darkness to lose power is your refusal to continue believing the lie that you are useless, forgotten, or worthy only of fragmented affection. When you begin caring for your life, using your talents, establishing boundaries, and living responsibly, former chains naturally lose strength. Genuine awakening does not make you escape reality. It makes you more present within reality, caring for your health, bringing order to your finances, completing your responsibilities, and building relationships through respect. Therefore, my beloved child, it is time to stop shrinking. But it is also time to step forward humbly. Do not tell the world that you are light. Live in such a way that those who suffer feel comforted when they meet you. Do not declare that you are strong. Preserve integrity when you have an opportunity to retaliate. Do not seek a throne above others, Seek a place where you can serve through the gift entrusted to you. You do not need to become someone else in order to fulfill your calling. Become the most truthful, mature, and pure version of yourself. When you live this way, your difference will no longer be a burden that isolates you, but a lamp that helps illuminate the road without burning anyone. I, Michael, will remind you to keep your eyes clear, your heart tender, and your feet firmly upon the ground. Walk not as someone above the world, but as someone who understands that the greatest strength is to use the light within to protect, heal, build, and leave peace wherever you go, my beloved child. Some things have been prepared for you, but can reach your life only when you are willing to leave a place that is no longer wide enough for the calling within you. I want you to understand that your gift was never lost or taken from your hands. It simply could not fully blossom within an environment not designed to support what you carry. Some lands are suitable for a season of learning, but not for a season of fruitfulness. Some rooms once sheltered you when you were weak, but have now become too narrow for the person being formed within you. Your present place is not necessarily evil, nor are the people around you necessarily enemies. Yet something that once fit can become unsuitable when your assignment changes. Therefore, the inner prompting you feel is not meant to make you despise what has passed, but to remind you that your time there is gradually being completed. I know you have felt this movement for a long time. There are mornings when everything still appears familiar, yet a gentle voice within tells you that you cannot continue as before. What once excited you no longer brings life. Conversations that once satisfied you have become repetitive and heavy. You begin longing for a new space, a new rhythm, and people capable of understanding what you do not yet have words to express. At first, you thought this was restlessness or ingratitude, but I tell you that not every discomfort means you are moving wrongly. Sometimes it is how you recognize that the former garment no longer fits the new person. Anxiety born from fear makes you want to run away from responsibility, while prompting born from guidance makes you desire growth, order, and movement toward what is purer. You prayed for direction, but many times you wanted the answer to appear without requiring you to change. You asked for a new door while remaining in the old room. You asked for expansion while fearing departure from what was familiar. I understand this struggle, because familiarity may no longer nourish you, but still creates a sense of safety. Yet you cannot enter a new journey while allowing fear to bind your feet in place. Guidance does not always come as a complete map, but often as enough light for the next step. You will not always know everything waiting ahead, but you can recognize when a season has stopped bearing fruit. Observe what continues repeating within your heart. The doors that are closing, the new possibilities appearing, and the peace accompanying a right decision, even when that decision still causes you to tremble. I am not calling you to act recklessly, abandon everything, or follow a passing emotion. Repositioning must walk with wisdom. Prepare. Calculate. Examine your responsibilities and complete what has been entrusted to you. If you must change your home, work, community, or way of living, move in order rather than chaos. What comes from light does not require you to destroy every bridge, insult former companions, or escape the consequences of your choices. You can leave with gratitude, close a chapter respectfully, and carry lessons instead of bitterness. A mature transition does not need to make the former place appear terrible in order to prove that the new one is right. You need only be honest that its role has been completed. When I move you, not only the scenery around you must change, the atmosphere within must also be adjusted. A new place may bring wider opportunities, but if you continue thinking through old limitations, you will unconsciously diminish what is entrusted. You may enter a large room while behaving like someone who does not deserve to be there. You may meet people who value your gift, but constantly question their motives because you were once disregarded. You may receive an opportunity and sabotage it through procrastination, fear of failure, or the habit of pleasing everyone. Therefore, I am not merely taking you to another position. I am renewing the way you see yourself. Receive goodness and manage responsibility. The discomfort you feel now is like the stretching of a vessel being enlarged. You are not being torn away from your former life without purpose. You are being drawn beyond limitations that can no longer contain your future. Some relationships may change as you begin living differently. Certain people will not understand why you no longer agree to every request, why you require more quiet space, or why you are more serious about your purpose. Do not rush to condemn them, but neither should their lack of understanding make you return. Not everyone who loved you in one season has the capacity to accompany you through every stage. Some were placed upon your road to teach a lesson. Some helped you cross a difficult passage, and some were entrusted to build something lasting with you. Discernment lies in appreciating each role without forcing a connection to continue beyond its appointed time. The place to which I am leading you will require deeper faith and a steadier mind. You cannot carry the belief that you are always left behind and expect to receive expansion peacefully. You cannot continue calling yourself unfortunate while new doors begin appearing. The words you speak about yourself will become either bridges or walls. Therefore, stop repeating definitions born from disappointing seasons. You are not the one who always arrives late. You are not the one who always receives less. You are not someone who must beg to be seen. You have been refined, instructed, and are becoming mature enough to enter an environment where your character is used for its proper purpose. You must also release the fear that what is new will end like what was old. Lessons from the past were given to make you wiser, not to make you a prisoner of memory. Carry discernment without distrusting everyone. Preserve boundaries without closing every door. Remain cautious without using caution to hide your fear of living more fully. The new place will contain its own challenges, but you no longer enter it with the immaturity of the past. You learned how to recognize promises unsupported by action, environments that drain you, and moments when compassion is being exploited. What once hurt you can now become wisdom that protects you. I, Michael, I am standing beside you through this repositioning. When everything feels unclear, I will remind you to look at what has already been illuminated instead of panicking about what remains hidden. When you miss the former place, I will help you distinguish gratitude from dependence. When you enter a new environment and feel small, I will remind you that you did not arrive there accidentally. What you carry was built over many years, and the right place will not only recognize it, but help it develop. Some people you are about to meet will see abilities you became accustomed to hiding. Some opportunities will require you to use your voice, experience, and understanding in ways that previously had no room to emerge. Do not shrink when what you prayed for finally begins calling your name. Remember that blessing is not an object that falls randomly, regardless of how you live. Many good things must meet you at the place of obedience, preparation, and proper positioning. A precious seed still requires suitable soil in order to grow. If you keep it forever in a vessel too small because you fear placing it in the field, you will never see its full capacity. In the same way, you must not call remaining forever in limitation faithfulness. Sometimes faithfulness means patiently staying still, but at other times it means rising and moving. Wisdom will help you recognize which season stands before you. In your case, the call has repeated long enough for you to understand that the season of preparation is becoming a season of action. Therefore, my beloved child, do not resist merely because you cannot yet see the entire picture. Prepare what must be prepared. Close what remains unfinished. And keep your heart open to a new direction. You are not merely changing location, you are stepping into a more mature version of yourself. The place ahead will stretch your capacity, test your faith, and require you to live more clearly according to your identity. Yet, it will also bring suitable connections, appropriate opportunities, and space where what has been placed within you no longer needs permission to exist. What is waiting will not meet you in the place of fear. It will meet you where you have become courageous enough to obey. Move forward calmly, because you are not running away from your old life. You are being led closer to the life prepared for you to truly grow, shine, and become a blessing in the way only you can. You are not ordinary, and what you endured was preparation that matured you enough to enter the situation now unfolding with this woman. I, Michael, want you to look upon your journey differently. The days you endured in silence, the times you offered kindness and were misunderstood, and the moments you had to stand up alone when no one reached out to help were not wasted. They deepened your heart, helped you recognize pain behind another person's silence, and taught you that genuine strength is not the same as becoming cold. You were refined so that you could draw near to someone in need of kindness without judgment. Listen without immediately imposing your opinion, and support them without making them feel small. What is happening does not concern this woman alone, because you are also being invited into a new level of maturity. Some places within you can be healed only as you learn to open your heart again after what disappointed you. You became accustomed to protecting yourself through caution, observing every sign, and preparing for people to leave. This caution once protected you from many wounds, but if you allow it to become a wall without a door, it may also prevent goodness from entering. I am not asking you to trust blindly. I am simply asking you not to use yesterday's wounds to condemn someone who has never harmed you. As you extend kindness toward this woman, something deep may also awaken within you. You will discover that you still possess the ability to care without losing yourself, and can be present for someone without carrying their entire life. Healing does not always occur in isolation. Sometimes it comes through an honest conversation, a moment when you choose patience instead of defensiveness, or a small action that reminds you that your heart has not become empty. What you give with discernment can become water that refreshes places within you that disappointment left dry. Yet remember that kindness does not mean rescuing another person from every consequence. Your role is not to become a savior or use your strength to repair everything they have not yet faced. You are called to remain present, listen, and act within the boundaries of what has been entrusted to you. Sometimes help is encouragement, sometimes guidance, And sometimes the best thing you can do is respect distance so they can make their own choice. Let compassion walk with discernment. Because genuine support does not remove responsibility from the person being supported. It simply reminds them that they do not need to face everything alone. This call may not arrive through a dramatic sign. It may appear only as a gentle prompting that causes you to think of her more often than usual. A feeling that you should ask how she is doing. Or a moment when you recognize that something remains unspoken behind her calm appearance. Do not disregard these small movements. But neither should you turn them immediately into a great conclusion. Observe calmly. Genuine guidance does not force you to act in panic or persuade you that everything good will disappear if you delay for one moment. It invites you to pay attention, pray, consider, and move with a pure heart. Pay attention to her words, but also observe how her actions reflect them. Some things are not expressed directly, but become visible in her eyes. The way she responds when asked how she is, or the silence that lingers between her answers. You do not need to analyze every gesture as though each detail carries a secret message. Simply remain present enough to recognize what is truly taking place. Sometimes a person does not immediately need advice. They only need to know that someone is willing to listen without turning their story into a subject of judgment. The ability to remain beside another person's pain without rushing to make it disappear is evidence of a mature heart. Do not force the connection to move in the direction you desire. Your role may be only to help her through one part of the road. Or, this encounter may open a deeper relationship. You do not need to name it immediately. Allow time, consistency, and fruit to reveal the true meaning of the connection. Your part is to remain open, communicate honestly, and refuse to use kindness as a means of forcing the other person to respond as you wish. Pure love gives without manipulation, demand, or turning help into a debt that must be repaid. I know part of you may fear being used again. You have given too much, remained too long, or offered others opportunities they did not value. Therefore, when you sense that you are being called towards someone, you may immediately withdraw to protect yourself. But the lesson of the past is not that you must stop loving. The lesson is that you must love with open eyes. You can remain kind while preserving boundaries. Generous without granting complete access. And caring without allowing yourself to be pulled into chaos. Maturity is when you no longer have to choose between a tender heart and a clear mind, because you have learned to hold both in harmony. There is a blessing connected with this obedience that you cannot yet fully see. Every time you respond courageously to a sincere call, you expand your capacity to receive greater responsibility. As you become a source of support, you also learn more about the strength, patience, and purpose placed within your life. This woman may bring a lesson, an awakening, or a direction you have never considered. The meeting may not only change her circumstances, it may also clarify for you how you have been equipped to serve and how your former experiences are being used to bring goodness. You may have wondered why you had to experience so much. Now, part of the answer is beginning to appear. You learned how to recognize someone who smiles while actually needing to be heard because you knew what it was like to hide exhaustion. You understand the value of encouragement at the right time because you passed through days when no one told you that you would make it. You know that presence matters more than grand promises because you were once promised much but left alone when difficulty arrived. These experiences were not meant to keep you in pain. They are becoming wisdom through which you offer others what you once longed to receive. Even so, do not treat blessing as a reward that must immediately appear after you do something good. Obedience is not an exchange in which you help someone to obtain personal benefit. The deepest blessing may be the realization that your heart has become freer, your purpose clearer, and your life no longer centered solely upon protecting yourself from every wound. Perhaps the open door will not be finances, recognition, or a great position, but the ability to live courageously, enter relationships honestly, and refuse to remain controlled by the past. These things will prepare you for many other doors you cannot yet see. This moment is not accidental, but neither do you need to turn it into a burden. I am not saying that this woman's destiny depends entirely upon you. Every person has their own journey, choices, and responsibility. You need only do the part placed before you, send a message of concern, have an honest conversation, offer suitable support, or simply remain present with respect. Do not act through guilt, fear of missing something, or the desire to prove that you are a good person. Act when your heart contains peace, your motives are pure, and your boundaries are clear. Michael, I want you to enter this circumstance with the gentleness of someone who has known pain without allowing pain to make them bitter. Pay attention without becoming obsessed. Remain open without losing discernment. Help without controlling. What is being prepared will reveal itself as you remain present truthfully. This woman may become part of the answer to questions you have carried concerning purpose, and you may become a reminder to her that goodness still exists. Allow the encounter to develop naturally beneath the light of peace. You are not ordinary, and the way you use what you have learned to bring life to others will help you understand more deeply why your journey was preserved until this very moment.